Hello and welcome back everyone. So in the last episode we gave the enemy some health, and as he went down the track he got killed. As soon as he died, that created an error because the turrets are still referencing the destroyed game object. So later we're going to fix that by letting the turrets target multiple enemies. For now I'm going to stick with a single hard-coded enemy, and I'm just going to, instead of destroying him, I'm just going to deactivate that game object. So GameObject.setActive false. And that essentially is just going to hide him from the scene, and it's going to prevent any errors from popping up. So I'll save that, and if you want to, you can play it and test it. I already tested it, it works error-free. So now we're going to work on creating another tower. So I'm going to go to Meshes, Hex Tile, and double-click that. That gives us our basic plate. And we can hit Ctrl Tab to go into face selection mode. I'm going to Alt right click on this edge and delete vertices. Shift S to bring the cursor to the center of the screen, and Shift S selection to cursor. So now we have the basic tower plate, and I'm going to hit E to extrude and pull that up, and S to scale in. And E to extrude again, S to scale in, and I'm just going to move that up slightly. E to extrude, S to scale in, and I'm just going to repeat this a couple more times. Alright, so this will be the basic missile tower, and just to make it look a little bit more fancy, I'm going to shift right click each of these edges, E to extrude, and pull that up. Now I want to scale these so that they're like a little bit more pointed, but I don't like how they scale into the center like that. So I'm going to change the pivot point to the, why don't we do individual origins, and that should make each of these scale in toward the center circle, like that. And I'll set this back to median point and scale them in like that. I like the way that looks a little bit better. It's more like a nuclear missile silo type of thing. Do I want to do anything else with this? I think I will Control Tab and go into Edge mode, and then Alt right click to get this ring. And actually, it's not letting me get the ring. I could just Shift right click around. And do I want to scale this in? No, I like the way it looks. So I think I'll leave this here. When I save this, I don't want to just hit Ctrl S. That's going to save over the hex tile, so I want to make sure that I do Save As, which is Shift Ctrl S. And I'm going to call this Missile Tower. Alright, so now if we go back to Unity, that should import. And if I bring this into the scene, once again we have that problem where, oh, actually, I thought it was going to do that weird rotation thing, but since we actually are working off of the hex tile, we don't have to worry about the weird rotation issue. And now if I just round these values off, -9, -6.5, now you can see he's perfectly aligned on that tile. And I can also duplicate him with Control D and drag with Control, and now he's going to line up wherever we put him. Alright, so now I'm just going to do some quick texturing on this. And what colors do we want here? I think I will pause the video and play with the colors and then come back. Okay, I'm back. So I think I'm going to stick with the theme of 1 or 2 colors, and we're just going to have two material slots, and that way we can control what colors are being assigned within Unity. I like having that flexibility, so I'm going to go back to Blender. I'm going to Control Tab into face selection mode, and I can Alt right click here to get this whole ring. Now I'm going to go to the Material tab, create 2 new materials, and I don't have to name them. I'm just going to assign material 1 here and then I'm going to click on Selection, Inverse, and assign Material 2 to everything else. Now I'll save that and go back to Unity. And now if I click on this, it should have 2 material slots. And if I want to, I could just drag one, or I could just drag our red color onto material 1 or onto material 2. And I think that looks fine. So that's the material. That's the missile tower. And we're only 5 minutes in, so I think I will start with the basic missile. So why don't we model that? New. I'm going to tab into edit mode, scale this down to about there. And I think I'll just extrude this, hit W, and then merge. And then we have a few different merge options. If we do at first, that's going to move everything to the first vertex that we selected. If we do at center, that's going to calculate the median point of those vertices, and that's what we want. So I'll at center. Alright, and that looks kind of cheesy, so I'm going to hit Ctrl R to do a ring loop. Move that up, and then I'm going to Alt right click here and scale that in. And I think that's fine for a missile. Now I'm going to hit RX minus 90, Control A, apply rotation and scale, RX 90, and RX 90, enter, and I'll save that as missile. And it doesn't look like we got any weird rotation, so I think that's perfect. In the next video, we're going to make this fire from the missile tower, and it should spin around and then like automatically locate and track the enemy. Actually, while I have your attention still, I think I will actually texture this. So I think I'll go back to Blender and create one more ring loop. Move this one up. Control Tab, face selection, Alt right click, and now I'll make 2 more materials. New material, new, assign, invert selection, and assign. Save. Now we can go back to Unity and we should have 2 material slots. Alright, I think that's pretty good for the missile. So I'll see you guys next time.